Hi, and welcome to Manda's Ramblings. So last week I did, it was the week before actually, I did a living with autism and I got a really good response. I wasn't expecting the response I got. As I went about it, slightly different from most people's way of going about it, telling you from start to finish. If there's any areas that you want me to talk about, sorry, I'm playing with the pen, habit. If there's any areas you want me to talk about with regards to it, please do. I've had a lot of people contact me and talk to me, which is lovely. It's so nice to know that you're not on your own dealing with these kind of problems. And yeah, they are problems. They're problems that you have to try and solve daily. Now, at the moment, Jessie's going through a really grumpy stage. It's usually coming up to hormonal time, and it means that you have the very volatile Jess. So she's nice as pie one minute, giving you hugs, and the next minute hating your guts. So it makes you quite angry sometimes, and you kind of want to snap at them, but you know it's not their fault. At the same time, you know that it's doing the trick. So anyway, I'm going to steer clear of that today and go on to show you the different whips and things that I'm working on. So I've got a book that I keep, my journal. This is my journal, and I've been keeping it for quite a while now. I think I started it back in October last year. Yeah, I did. I started it back in October last year, which was funny enough. Right when I needed it. It was right when we lost Willow. A couple of weeks before we lost her, or about 13 days before I lost her actually. And it gave me a space to write my thoughts down and things that were bothering me, and keep a list of what I needed to do during the time that my brain didn't really want to function. Like losing any member of your family, you go through the stages of grief, and one of those is that you don't remember what you're meant to be doing. So, you know, you get tied up in what you're doing and forget everything else. So I decided to write it all down, and I decided, like I say, about 13 days before she died, that, sorry, for those that don't know, Willow was our dog. She's on the wall behind me here. She's the black and white one. You can just make her out in some of the photos. This one behind my head, that's her memory box all the way up there. Yeah, she had the most, I don't know, she just drew you in. Anyway, I'm missing her terribly as it's coming up to the anniversary of her death. And I've missed her every day, to be honest with you. I have two others and I still miss that one. It's, yeah, nothing will ever replace her. Anyway, I thought today that we would do something, go through what I'd made this month, and give you an idea of sort of what sort of things I get up to try and keep my brain active and to keep me doing something. So let's find it. It's in my pile here. So I started the month by picking up. Hi and welcome back to Manda's One Bits. Manda's Ramblings. I'm not quite sure what I just did there, but it looks like I pressed stop with a chicken. Oh well, we'll start again. So yeah, this week's chat ramble is about what I've been making. So I finished the month last month and started the month, finished it actually by finishing the Hexy cardigan, which was in the black version of it, and started the month on something completely new. It's unusual for me to start the month on the actual day that the month starts. I'm usually busy with something else. So I made this. This is made with wizard yarn. It's called Oil Slick. See if I can, yeah, you can see the oil slick. And the pattern for the shawl is by Under the Olive Tree, and it's Get, Set, Go. And I have to say, it was really good fun. Really good fun. It's done in sections, so it wasn't overcomplicated to follow. You're doing a nice edging which was easy enough to do, so that was nice. And yeah, really well written pattern. I've got a couple of others of hers that are ready to, I've got yarn ready for. Whether I actually get round to making them this year is a different matter. So that's Under the Orange Tree with yarn from The Wizard. So next I made, this is a test that I did, a crochet test knit for Amanda, I want to say Hodgkinson. She's a member of the group and she runs knitting and crochet groups of her own, but she also does in-person teaching. And she asked if anybody would test this Taylor Swift style dress. So this is the Taylor Swift style dress. It's, yeah, really hard to show you because it's so big, but it fits Jessie beautifully. If you want to see more of it, it's on my page. Yeah, and Jessie's wearing it. She actually wore it out the other day to go to her singing group and got a lot of compliments on it. Yeah, she really enjoyed it. So that was made with the same colour yarn that I used in Christine's Hexie cardigan. And I think it looked really good. I really do. Now I got asked by the lady who ordered the little square t-shirt, white square t-shirt, if I could make it longer. So she sent it back. I unpicked the edgings, dropped another layer on, 2 layers actually, to make it a lot longer. Again, that picture is on, I don't think I can work out how to put a picture of it up here. Let me see if I can do that. If I can't, check it out on Facebook. It's a beautiful white summer crochet top done in 4-ply acrylic yarn. Yeah, really beautiful. 3mm hook. Took quite a while to do, but was worth the effort. So finished that one off. I then made chickens. I actually ended up making 25 of these, 3 in this size and 20 in this size. And they're really easy. You can choose obviously whichever square you want, and that's all it is. It's 2 granny squares. That one's obviously the no holes granny squares, and this one is a flower. I think they're called African flowers. I don't know. I couldn't find a pattern for one when I wanted it, so I just made it up as I went along. Having done lots of these flowers before, it was just a case of, oh yeah, that'll do that and that'll do that. So it wasn't bad. And then you join the 2 together, leaving the bum open. Pop the eyes in, stitch on the nose. It's actually done in situ. It's actually attached. Make the crest, which was really easy to do. Again, it's done through the ridges of the seams. And then stuff him, not too full, doesn't want to be heavy, and sew up his bum. Really simple. Can be made into a keyring like this one, which is why I made these ones smaller. Or they can be keyrings in this one. They're not heavy at all. I made these using paint box yarn, cotton. And this one is some cotton that I got for my birthday last year. Or I might have got it for Christmas. I think it was my birthday. Off a member of the family. And it is bamboo cotton. With obviously some of the other cotton to make up the difference. So those were the chickens, and like I say, I made 25 of those. Some were sold, and I've got 9 left, I think. So if you want one, get in touch. They're £3 each plus postage. So moving on, I then made, because I fancied something different, the Skelly Bob hat. This is the skeleton hat in DK yarn, and is made using a Ravelry pattern by Tellybean Knits. I made this using, it's actually a sparkly, I don't know if you can see the sparkle, yeah you can a little bit, a sparkly white yarn which was from B&M, and the rest of it is called, it was actually Derrimore's Baby Lux, and it's a high twist yarn, and it makes a really good definition of stitches. Really enjoyed making that. I'm definitely going to make that one again. It also comes in a jumper, and you can do it in sock yarn. Didn't do it in sock yarn, didn't have enough solids to be able to do it. Saving those for Tellybean Knits October knit along. Yeah, they're doing a shawl again, and I am a cowl, and I'm going to do that. So I then finished, or picked up, and must have finished because I've got it here when I finished it. So this is, bear with me, this is Poppy Fields. Well, it is a cowl, and it tells the story, and I told you it before, I wanted to make something that could tell the story of basically Flanders Fields. So you've got the whites and the poppies that are the graves, all in rows, dug out so you can see, all in rows. And then between them, the fields of poppies. And the fact that it goes on. I started it this way, so that the red was at the bottom for the blood, and the graves were at the top. So it actually tells the story of the bloodbath, the fields of poppies that grew in the place, the graveyards, the fact that it goes on and on and on and on and on, which is what it does, and back to the graves, all in rows. So this one, I've just released the pattern on Ravelry. It's called Poppy Fields, and £1 from every sale of that pattern will go to the Royal British Legion. Now, so far I've only sold 2 patterns, so, and obviously I made this one, so that would be £3 because I'm charging myself 2. Why not? I think it's only fair. So what else did I make? I am making currently, this one's still on my needles. This is the Summer Sorrel by Wool and Pine, sorry, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the stitch definition. So you've got drop stitches, not dropped as in you drop them, but you drop down the stitches, and so it makes these beautiful ridges here. Unfortunately, most of it is in pearl, which is a nemesis of mine, but it's going to help me. The yarn I'm using for this one, sorry, I'll go back to the other one in a minute. I've told you before. The yarn I'm using for this one is by Jelly Beans. Bear with me. I've just squished that the wrong way. It's Jelly Beans yarn. This stopped dyeing, unfortunately. However, this one's Fairy Wings, and I managed to pick it up at a D-stash. So you might be lucky as to get some at a D-stash. Ask people. It's beautiful. Don't know why she stopped, I can't remember now, but I picked it up as a D-stash, so I'd never bought from her before. By the time I'd got it, she'd stopped selling. So back to this one, because I forgot to say, this is by Striped Envy. The green one is by Little Bear's Yarn. Little Bear's Yarn no longer dyes, which is a real shame, because that was Mossy Bank, and it was beautiful, is beautiful. Can't get any more. And this one was the RAF Poppy by the Ungrateful Wench. Absolutely beautiful yarns. Have no problem buying off the 2 that are still dying, because their yarns are lovely. The feel of them's lovely. It washes well. So, next I made, it's called the Delilah headband. I can't share it with you. It is a surprise test knit. I also did, in the same day, the knotted headband, which is also a surprise test knit. Well, one's a crochet, one's a knit, and I'm not going to tell you which way around. Then did the fall. It's called Fall Night Long Cowl. How pretty is that? Okay, so I'm not going to unroll it all. I did the double length one because that's what was left to test. It comes in all different sizes, so you could have it as small as this. I think there's 6 sizes in total. I did the size 5. It's got a rolled edge, so this is a rolled edge, which saves a lot of work. And it's then 1 by 1 knit, which looks beautiful, stops it rolling too far. You've got beautiful flowers on it, which I was worried you couldn't see them on the dark purple, so I changed to the light purple and made it so it changed on the leaf, which actually made it look really good, and I'm really pleased with it. So I wanted it in solid colours, and purple and purple, can't go wrong with purple and purple. So like I say, this one it's called Full Night Long, and it is by Bronwyn the Brave Designs. It's a new designer on me, and I love it. I'm going to go back and see if I can find some more of her work. Really good. Pattern was so well written. Can't wait for this one to come out and for you to have a try at it. I'd never tried the leaf pattern before, and I can honestly say that the pitch tutorial that she put there for us to follow meant that I didn't have to go to YouTube and start trawling through YouTube to try and find the right one. That's how good it is. So I did another test crochet, and that was for Pam. Pam is Best Crochet Life. Look at this. Okay, it's a bit wrinkly. I've just pulled it out of the cupboard. But look at that pattern. I think it looks excellent. I've put a picture up on my page. It's purples. I've used purples, reds, greys. I've used deep colours. Just what I had to hand. This one's in acrylic yarn. She normally uses cotton. Yeah, I think lots of these put together would make an absolutely brilliant blanket. It's called Just Breathe Granny. Just Breathe Granny. And it is really pretty. Again, the Best Crochet Life is really well written. All her patterns are really well written. Pam has just this way of writing the pattern that you can follow, and if there's anything you can't follow, she's got photos that you can go and follow instead, and it's brilliant. Really, really good. So that's that one. Now, a while back I did a test, bear with me, because I'm going to have to look back through my book, which is why I've got it to hand here with me. It's called Golden Sunflower Crochet, and they are, I can't think of the lady's name, I'm so sorry. They're coasters, and they come in a little coaster holder, and you can put them all together. There's 4 of them, and they all fit into this little coaster. I'm going to find her name. It's on my phone. It shouldn't take me long because I was already looking for it earlier and I forgot to write it down, like a nitwit that I am. Here we go. See, I've got it here. It's Beverly Harbour. I don't know if you can see that. No, it's glaring on it. Sorry, you can't. Beverly Harbour, and she is on Ravelry, but she's also on Etsy. So yeah, that was those. Really liked making those. Those are made in cotton. Again, another really nicely written pattern. Very easy to use, very easy to follow. Well worth it. Now I made this little monster, and I can't remember if I shared it. Look how cute this little monster is. It's tiny. It's got a lovely little belly button. It's got a little tooth, and it's got a little button nose. And this is called Mason. And Mason can be made in all different sizes because the pattern is written for 4-weight and 5-weight yarn, and I did it in 3-weight. It is written by Lizzie, who is MPT Designs, made a lot of her patterns now, helped test a lot of her patterns, and really, really enjoy making them. These things, this one in particular, is so cute, just so cute. So I don't know if I've showed that one before. I don't think so. It actually lives in my box up here looking at me, watching me. It will be going to my Christmas store with me, but still, it's there. So that's that one. Lastly, I don't think I shared these. I think I did actually by mistake, but these are, now this is a name that I can never get right, so I'm gonna have to apologise for this. Yeah, I can't say it. So it's by Nimsy Knits and Crochets, and I think it's called the Flowermas. It's not a word I can say, I'm sorry, but being dyslexic sometimes is a real pain in the butt. So let's have a look and see if I can spell it for you. Obviously I'm going to have to go and look to spell it for you. I wrote it down as the herringbone hat because that was easier for me to spell. It's called the Floremus, Floremus hat and cowl. It's by Hannah Elizabeth Drayden, and she actually is Nimsy Knits and Crochets. So there you go, that's that one. Now, I also don't think I shared this with you. Bear with me 1 second, I'll just grab her. She's brilliant. You might have seen her in some of the photos. Look at this. I think I might have shared her. Gonna share her again. Quite proud of her. She's doorstop. The design is by Cottontail and Whiskers. I've made a lot of Cottontail and Whiskers stuff over the years. Really love the way she writes her patterns. Really exciting patterns. Really interesting patterns. So lastly, I am working on, still very slowly, I have shared this one with you before and I'll share it with you again. This is in Cascade yarn. Excuse me, choking on my coffee there. This is Carter Lake, and it's really hard to show you because it's in black. Yeah, it's a pattern by Knit for the Soul. I found it on Ravelry a while ago. It's been in my list to do. It's black and it's horrendous to show. When it is finished, I promise to pop it on. I'll try and take a photo of it, or there are photos of it on Jessie, which shows it off much better and lets you see what it's like. That is in the process of being done. I'm working on that only when I'm talking to Dave when he's driving home, and not if I've got an order on or something that really needs to be dealt with. It's one that you need to concentrate on. It changes from knit and purl, and each row, it's a 4-row repeat. Yeah, it's a 4-row repeat, and it's a 4-row repeat that changes throughout the pattern. So it's, I have a piece of paper with it all written down on. It's one of those patterns that you do have to follow quite well. I have made a few mistakes on this pattern from the beginning. I actually pulled it back 3 times. Got really frustrated with it. Now, if you remember, I was making the scarf letter. That's what I was originally making with the oil slit. I made a mistake and couldn't drop it back with it being lace work. I couldn't actually pick it back up again. Should have put a lifeline in. I didn't. Lesson learned. But will I use a lifeline next time? Probably not. It was totally my mistake. Yeah, I've never followed a pattern like that before. You're using charts and written words, and you're jumping from following one bit to another. It can get quite confusing, and then somebody talks to you and that is it, you've lost it. I made the mistake of thinking that I could put it down and not do it for a couple of weeks, and then I picked it back up and I'd forgotten how I was supposed to do it, and that's why it ended up getting frogged. It will get done again. The pattern is still here next to me and I plan to pick it back up again. Maybe using a solid yarn this time, or a more solid yarn this time. I haven't got many sock yarn in solid, to be honest with you. Yeah, although I do need to find some out for the Halloween cowl by Tellybean Knits. I mentioned it earlier. I will be doing that. So that's me done for today. I have rambled your ear off and talked to you about all the different things I'm making. If there is anything there that I have not mentioned that you want to know something about, or you need a little reminder without having to go through all of my video, please just mention it in the comments and I will try to get back to you as quickly as possible and let you know where I'm at. Same as if there was anything from the last video about Jessie's autism and living with Jessie's autism and how it affects us, please feel free to get in touch. I know many of you did, and thank you very much for that, and thank you for the support that you showed by just taking the time to watch it. It really meant a lot. So yeah, that's me done, and I shall see you next time. Thanks now. Bye bye.